Everyone knows the phrase, practice what you preach, but a part of the point of practicing what you preach is proof. Try saying that 10 times really fast. When a person practices what they preach and proceed to display that doing so achieves certain desired results, that demonstrates that what they are preaching is good. An obvious example would be exercise. It's all well and good to tell fatties to exercise, but coming from another fatty or a steroid user, it rings hollow. While coming from a person who used to be fat themselves, but got better, it has far more credibility. This also applies to stories, and is sort of the entire point of theme. Theme, plot, and character are the tri-synergetic aspects of story. Some people treat these aspects as if they're separate. They'll say, yeah, the story is shit, but the theme's bro. But no, the theme is nothing without the plot and the characters. Prime, easy, low-hanging fruit example, The Last Jedi's not by fighting what we hate but by saving what we love thing, at the same time as the actions that the character saying that has made have doomed the people that they supposedly loved by stopping the person who was going to sacrifice himself to save them, in a rare moment of being allowed to be a real character. Plot disproves the theme at the same time as the theme is being told to us explicitly. The plot and the theme are not acting synergetically, therefore it is a bad story that doesn't execute its theme well. Or Falcon and the Winter Soldier's "You've got to do better, Senator." It's not as bad as The Last Jedi's moment. Not that that's an achievement, because the plot and the theme aren't actively at war with each other. But it's still bad, because it's tacked on. It's like when you go to a modern art gallery and you see the walls lined with these mangled pieces of garbled nonsense, then read the explanation stuck to the wall next to it, and find out that it's about conflict in the Middle East or something. No, it's not. Things are not meaningful just by virtue of you saying that they are meaningful. They are meaningful whether or not you say so. Meaning, to a great, but granted not absolute degree, is inherent. You need to write an essay about the meaning of your piece because it is not meaningful. You haven't elevated whatever pathetic pet cause you pretend to care about to the level of high art. You have degraded it to the level of the garbage spewed onto the canvas. Or in this case, screen. But people still praise The Last Jedi and Falcon and the Winter Soldier for their themes, when really they're praising them for having the pretense of themes. Good stories explore their themes with their plots, their characters. For your story to be good theme-wise, your theme needs to work in tandem with the plot and characters. For easy pointers on how to do this right, watch any Disney Renaissance movie. The characters, setting, often the stakes and the themes are always communicated in the first two songs explicitly and then expanded on in the rest of the songs. In Mulan, Honor Us All establishes the themes of tradition and family / societal expectations and the clash with Mulan's personality, which we just established with the prior scene and maintained throughout the song with her expressions, body language and actions, and also introduces us to the setting, and Reflection expresses Mulan's internal struggle between the expectations of her society and family who she does want to honour versus her own identity and who she wants to be. Theme and character are established and conveyed in these two songs and the dialogue in the scenes between, and set us up for the story going forward, like a thematic Chekhov's gun, and they all work synergetically. I almost went on a whole tangent going over the first two songs of Hercules, Tarzan, and Hunchback of Notre Dame, and almost did all of the songs in Mulan, but this is supposed to be a short video. The pattern persists in all the Disney Renaissance films. I could go into a whole analysis of Mulan or any of these films to prove my point, but I don't have to. If you've seen any of them, and if you pay attention and don't turn your brain off, you know my point. I say these films are good to use as examples because they are family films, not children's films, family films, and thus have very accessible themes and structures at the same time as having actual depth. So for adults, the themes are very easy to recognise and articulate, while the kids who don't get anything yet can still have fun while absorbing the good lessons. Because these films weren't made to put in front of drugged up iPad babies to get them to shut up for an hour and a half. These are actual stories. What makes the lessons, themes, morals, etc. of these stories good is the craft, because not every story is made equal. You actually have to be good at what you do. Theme without craft is worthless, because at best it becomes the pretense of a theme. That's why You've Got to Do Better, Senator, and Not Fighting What We Hate but Saving What We Love, and all the other similar examples will only be remembered as memes and as examples of what not to do for writers who want to make good art. They go beyond show don't tell in terms of bad writing. They go beyond basic bitch failure. They transcend failure itself. Going back to the weight loss example, because the story they tell, whether it be in one sentence or a whole weight loss thread, is one of their weight loss and their journey and the morals that come with it, such as you should fucking exercise, fat bitch, and the proof of the moral is in the results, or in other words, the conclusion of the story. The events of the story is the practice of what the theme is preaching, and in a good story, it proves what they preach. That is what a good fucking story does. A good story doesn't just have themes, it does stuff with them. Having themes is not good enough. Every goddamn story has themes. If you want praise, praise that actually matters, you actually have to make something worthwhile, that says something worthwhile. Capitalism bad, now Gib Awards praise me. Fuck off. You absolute fucking hobgoblins are glazing Andor for using the word genocide, and that's it. Nothing else. That's how easy it is to get praise from people who have been mind-raped by ideology. If you want this spelled out for your baby brain, go watch Scrubs. The point of every episode is narrated and said straight to the audience. None of this is to say that your theme has to be obvious. You can have a more arcane or elusive theme that's a challenge to fully grasp. But there has to be a theme, and the theme has to be in some way a part of the thing that you are making. You can't just make some piece of trash, then slap an accompanying essay or screed on it to give the illusion of depth. Otherwise, you end up with a franchise like The Last Jedi or fucking The Last of Us, desperately grasping at anything even resembling meaning in order to pretend that what they enjoy isn't garbage, and who then proceed to tell you, it's a Space Wizard film, it's just a video game, just turn your brain off, when you call them out on their bullshit. I don't know about you, but I want a fan base of people... Yeah, that's it, I want a fan base of people.